Hello, hello. I hope you are having an awesome day. So that being said, welcome to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Gurveer Singh. I am the co-founder with my partner Adam at Novak Partners. So basically, what we are is we own a restaurant growth agency where we go ahead and implement systems, infrastructure, and mechanisms, and also have the talent to go ahead and bring growth for your restaurant. So that being said, what we used to do was we used to do some content. We used to do on Instagram, TikTok. If you see our pages, you'll see that we used to produce some sort of short form content. But one thing that we realized and one feedback that we got from our potential prospects, our clients that we spoke to, was that we'd love to see some more long form content, right? Content that, I mean, it's great to generate attention, these short form contents, so we can give you a little bit of value. But I really think that what we're doing with this is to give you as much value over a specific topic within 10 to 20 minutes, where you can actually go ahead and implement the advice or the insights that we have, that we utilize to grow our own restaurants, as well as the restaurants that we work with on a consistent basis and on a daily basis, to go ahead and implement that into your own restaurant and see growth from it. So what I will say is, if you enjoy this video, this first video on this channel, what I would definitely go ahead and suggest is click the subscribe button. I'm telling you to do that after this video if you found this valuable, but go ahead and click on the subscribe button. I'll be posting very often, at least 2 times a week usually. And basically what you want to do is, once you click the subscribe button, go ahead and click the bell button as well. So YouTube, some reasons being a bit weird, because if you subscribe to us or you subscribe to me and I post a new video, you won't get notified about that, because YouTube's just become a bit weird with their, kinks. And so if you go ahead and click the bell button, what it means is you'll get updated every time we post a video, so you never miss out on the newest insights that we bring to the table for you. But that being said, let's get into what you're here for. And what you're here for is probably based around the title, if I title it something like that, or if the content team titles it something like that. But basically what I want to walk you through is an insight that I gathered, and it's the topic that I wanted to base around was how this burger shop did £85 million in their first year with zero marketing spend. Now that sounds unfathomable, right? As a restaurant owner, you know that £85 million in a single year, without paid ads, without billboards, without doing flyers and stuff. Actually, to be honest, I don't know if they did flyers and stuff, but they definitely didn't do any paid marketing. And that's pretty insane, if you ask me, especially like when there's restaurants complaining about cost of living crisis, the fact that food costs have gone up, the fact that people don't have money to spend, and a restaurant does this, or a multiple burger chain does this. So that being said, before I get into this and explain how the F this even happened in the first place, let me give you some context. Okay, now my first question to you and thought I want you to keep in mind is that if you are a restaurant owner, do you have a creative agency that helps you with your content, posting, filming, managing your social media, etc.? Now, if you do, good. Keep that thought in mind, because I can make you understand this concept, and if you understand the concept that I'm showing you here, you're most likely going to fire them. Now, I'm pretty confident in saying that. I'm not saying that you should fire them if you understand this, but I'm saying that you might. Okay? Now, as we, like I said, keep that thought in mind. Okay? Now, as we sit here in 2024, would you agree, as a restaurant owner or an entrepreneur in general, that attention is one of the most important or valuable things in today's economy? Okay. Now, the reason I bring this up to you, or to the point where I decided to create this asset and even record a whole YouTube video on it, is because of a podcast that I listened to. Now, I was listening to a podcast on something in which a big inspiration of mine, Chamath, I'm not going to go ahead and pronounce his surname because I'm going to butcher it. Chamath, he's a Canadian-American venture capitalist, and he was on the Lex Fridman podcast. And he was asked on the Lex Fridman's podcast what he would do if he was to start another app, software, or business and skyrocket sales for the company. Now, it's not the exact things he said, but something along those lines. But this was the exact answer that Chamath gave. He said, I would focus on the... Oh, there we go. He said, I would focus on the content side of things, because I believe that's where the puck is going. And if you don't know what he means by that, he's talking about attention. So Lex Fridman asked this serial venture capitalist and entrepreneur who has scaled multiple companies, who has funded multiple companies, so he knows what makes a company valuable and what is happening in the economy today. His answer to that question was, I would focus on the content side of things, because I believe that is where the puck is going. And so, to get back to my thought on why I would record a whole video on this, is because I think you can figure out for yourself what that means. If someone worth 1.2 billion and scaled and funded multiple companies tells you that you need to have an audience and produce content for your business, then you start creating content. Okay? Now, you're probably, I can imagine someone saying, or as a restaurant owner, I can imagine you saying, well, you just told me to get rid of my creative agency and now you're saying to make content. This makes no sense. And I agree with you, but hold that thought. Now, as a restaurant owner, have you ever wondered what F&B businesses like Prime Hydration, Beast Burgers, Dough Bricks, Proper 12, and multiple others have in common? What is the thing that they have in common that has allowed some of these drinks or restaurants to clear over $250 million in their first year of operating? Or in some cases, closing in over $1 billion in their first year of trading? Have you ever questioned what they all have in common? Now, after owning over 11 restaurants and have partnered with restaurants in over 13 different market sections or segments of the restaurant industry, there was one thing that stood out to me which separated the restaurants who were fighting tooth and nail to stay afloat and those who printed cash. And listening there to Chamath, right, I kind of had a realization. You see, what he did was he actually broke down these waves. He actually broke down three waves of how trillions of dollars in enterprise value was created in the last 20 years. Now, I know you might be thinking straight away, okay, well, this specific section doesn't have anything to do with restaurants. Please, you are an entrepreneur. You're running a business. Yes, restaurants have different ways of scaling compared to, maybe a gym. But at the end of the day, we're all businesses. Businesses scale very similarly, and something that might apply to a gym that helps them scale will also apply to restaurants. Something that might, help a Fortune 500 company or a potential future Fortune 500 company might also help your restaurant scale. So you are in the business world, you are an entrepreneur, and so all of this applies to a restaurant, even if it's not the exact business model. Okay. Now, what he did was he broke down three waves of trillions. He broke down three waves of how trillions of dollars in enterprise values was created in the last 20 years. Now, the first wave included the big platforms such as Google and Apple, right? The second wave included the atomized versions of these big platforms, right? So what that means is Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, all of these platforms built on top of these platforms, right? So almost think about how, think about Uber as Google and your restaurant as Facebook, right? Facebook is able to benefit on the platform of Google because people can access it through Google. Same with your restaurant being able to be put on Uber Eats or Deliveroo and being able to utilize the platform that Uber Eats and Deliveroo has created to make more money, serve more customers, generate more cash, right? And then the third wave, which is the new wave, is what is affecting us right now. And this is exactly how he broke it down. He said, building your own platform or leveraging these platforms to build your own platform. And so for local businesses, that would reflect to owning attention. Now, what I mean by owning attention is if you post on Instagram and you get, 15,000 views, great. You got attention, but you own none of it. If Facebook shut down your page tomorrow, where's your attention coming from? You don't own it. Facebook owns the attention. Instagram owns the attention. TikTok owns the attention. Those are TikTok's users. Okay, so just bear with me because it might sound a bit complicated. You might be thinking about, okay, well, does my restaurant need to have a software or something that? No, just bear with me, right? But the way that I was thinking about this, right, something inside of me decided that I had to bring this up with my team when I heard it. And so just like any company that wants to grow and help their clients grow even more, we decided to create our own thesis around scaling restaurants through the attention economy, right? And we did that by studying how all of these other random businesses, popping up in 1 year and doing 250, 1 billion, 700 million in a single year, right? How they had done all of this, whilst most were affected by things like cost of living crisis, rising cogs, and were struggling to stay afloat, right? So what separated the ones who were printing cash and the ones that were broke? Right? And so that being said, that's how we came across and built our own thesis around scaling restaurants through one of our mechanisms that we implement for the restaurants we work with in this attention economy. Okay. And so because of that, I want to share to you exactly what that process is, and I'm going to show it to you in motion, so you can maybe go ahead and implement it in your business for yourself. Now, the creative agency aspect of things, right? So first of all, like I said, we are not a creative agency. We don't just come into your restaurant and film your food, and then that's how your restaurant grows. So we have a lot of different mechanisms in how we help restaurants scale, because we understand that every restaurant needs to have certain things that help solve their certain problems, right? So we are a custom built solution. And so what I'm showing you now is not our offer, but it is a major aspect of what we do for restaurants. So bear in mind, this is not our whole service, but this is a major aspect of what we do for restaurants, and it's really helped them grow. Yep. So going down to the content infrastructure for growth. Okay. Now the thesis, broken down into very small, concise bits, is this right here. Okay. Attention, own the attention, educate and nurture the attention, and convert it. Very simple. Now, the reason I say that if you have a creative agency, and I mean, if you have a creative agency after watching this, you might fire them, is because what you're going to realize is all of these agencies only focus on this. What good is attention to you? What good is the 15,000 views to you if Facebook can shut you down tomorrow? If all that turns is into, followers and likes, or all that turns into is just, um, I mean, if it's just 15,000 people looking at it and then they just scroll past, nothing matters. You can't deposit followers, likes, and comments into your bank, right? And the problem is this is all creative agencies focus on. That's all they do. They stop at just trying to generate attention, even if that's not their goal. Their goal is, I'll take a photo, I'll post it on Instagram. If it goes viral, great. And so that's why I'm saying you need to stop focusing on looking at content and social media like this, okay? Because the thesis around actually scaling any business, and specifically restaurants in this economy, is generating attention, owning that attention, educating and nurturing that attention, and then converting it. Now, how do you actually go ahead and scale attention, right? And I titled this "Why a Restaurant Would Never Need a Higher Content Agency Ever Again," because this is actually how we broke it down. Now, this is the framework that if I was to start a content agency, this is what I would do to absolutely maximize the value I provide for restaurants, and to provide the return that the restaurants get and the growth the restaurants get from there. Luckily, that's not where we stop. We go a lot more in depth, but this is just one thing that we do on the content aspect of things to make sure that this is a huge part for our restaurant. So like I said, again, please don't think that this is all we do. We do a lot more than this, but this is a major aspect of it. So now if I was you, if I put myself in your position, how would you scale through attention? Well, the first thing that you want to start doing, right? And the reason you would fire your content agency after learning this is because what you need to learn how to do is you need to acquire attention for free. Okay. So there's two ways of doing that. There's, show people what they want to see, kind of how like Samway does it. He shows people what they want, like the recipes and the kitchen, etc., etc. And that's what people resonate with. And, he's been able to amass 2.7 million followers, and I think billions of views at this point. Or you can do crazy stuff to go viral, like Gordon Ramsay and Salt Bae, right? Gordon Ramsay has 20 plus million YouTube subscribers. I'm sure he has multiple million, or tens of millions of followers on Instagram. And Salt Bae's restaurants are all doing insane, all because he decided to generate attention by putting salt like this and dropping it on the food. But the first thing is you need to acquire attention for free. Now you can also pay for attention, and that's more prominent now than ever through paid ads and things of that sort. But the main thing is you need to acquire attention for free. And like I said, this is literally where content agencies stop. Now, once you've acquired the attention for free, you need to actually go ahead and utilize channels of distribution, right? When I look at companies, and when I was studying companies in general, not just restaurants itself, the two main things that stood out to me was, one, the distribution, how they could reach more customers, and where they were reaching more customers, and then two, the talent they had behind them, right? And so distribution, and that's literally what they would do to scale to multiple 7, 8 figures, 9 figures a year, right? But the main thing, what I mean by distribution, is how can you create this one piece of content that can reach to people on multiple different platforms, in locations around you, but in multiple different forms as well. Okay, so the next thing is, once you've acquired the attention, you want to learn how to distribute that content. Okay, so what I would do, and what we do for our restaurants, is we figure out the main distribution channel. So there's multiple at the moment. These are just three. Is that the short form, right? Reels, TikTok, Shorts, Twitter, right? Things that are like 10 to 30 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute, things that people are scrolling and utilizing. So short form content. UGC content is influencer marketing, right? Influencer user generated content, such as influencer marketing. One thing that I've never heard anyone else say this. I kind of coined this in the company, is attention arbitrage, right? You're utilizing other people's attention, right? So if you hire an influencer, they have people that are looking at their content every day. You utilize their attention and arbitrage it to bring attention for you, right? So I call it attention arbitrage, utilizing influencer marketing, or you could even use paid verticals, right? Facebook, TikTok, Instagram ads, etc., etc. But the main thing is, you want to acquire the attention and you want to distribute that through multiple different verticals so that you can generate more attention. Now, once you have done that, once you have generated this attention, you then need to acquire tens of thousands of users. Okay, you need to get tens of thousands of followers, leads, subscribers, database customers as fast as possible, right? Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that you need to directly target customers to convert them and bring them into restaurants, but you need to utilize the database to follow a nurturing and education process where you can build a cult-like following and audience. Humans are literally people who thrive in communities. They thrive when people around them have a similar interest or have a similar liking. And the main thing that these not these big, but the main thing that these restaurants or food and beverage businesses are doing that is creating them, giving them the opportunity to do, hundreds of millions in their first year of trading, is because they've built a cult-like following and audience around the concept, around what they do. Okay. And so when I say you need to acquire tens of thousands of users, I mean you need to figure out how you can own the attention, right? So this is where we go from generating the attention to then going ahead and owning the attention. Because once you own the attention, you never need to pay for it again. Yeah. We have this thing where we tell our customers is that every single pound you pay Facebook or Instagram, every single pound you pay Facebook or Instagram to reach new people is the ignorance tax you pay for not having your own audience. Okay, so you need to figure out a way that you need to convert these customers. So, just think about it. Even if you had 10,000 people on your database, which really isn't even that much people, right? The 10,000 people who have followed you, who have subscribed to you, who have given you their email, phone number, etc., who you own their attention. If you had 10,000 people, right, and you converted 2% of them every single time you reached out to them through your education and nurturing sequence, you have 200 new tables, 200 new orders, 200 new people who are going to be spending money with you every single time. 2%. That's not even the average. So you understand what I'm saying, right? When I say how important this is. Now, what you would do then is, once you have this audience and once you've started building this cult-like following around this, and like I said, we do this for the restaurant. So when I say you, I'm just saying this is the stuff that we do ourselves that works for the restaurants we work with. But what you would then do is you would then leverage some sort of small offer or some sort of like a lever. You'll pull a lever for an entry level offer where you can get these people on your subscriber base to give them access to something bigger to belong to, right? Like I talked about the community thing. Now you have to be very skilled in learning how to nurture and educate them, but you need to understand how well this can work if you understand how it works, right? And so what you would then do is, all of these people on this database, once you've educated them, once you've nurtured them, shown them what your restaurant is about and why, what separates you as an industry leader compared to these other restaurants that they can walk past the street, right? You then get them to a VIP list, an insider update, right? Something like that. This is the same thing, right? This is how you convert those people, is you utilize that small offer to get them onto these so-called special lists. Now, once you've done that, you then create your own platform and own the traffic. Okay, so this is like going from just acquiring the attention itself to being able to get a database of them to actually creating your own platform and owning the traffic. Now, when I say your own platform, I mean what we would do, or what we do for the restaurants, is we direct their database that they have to a custom built loyalty program that we will. Now when I say loyalty program, sometimes it doesn't work for a restaurant, the initial, like the loyalty program that you all know about. I'm just saying loyalty program because it's easier for it to resonate with what I'm saying. I can, make a whole video around this itself. We don't use loyalty programs for every single restaurant because, like I said, every restaurant has different needs. But I'm going to use loyalty program as an example of a platform. Now when I say platform, I'm not saying you build the next Facebook. I'm saying that you take the attention off of Facebook to a platform, to a loyalty program app, wallet, or system that we can convert them onto, so that you can literally engage with them whenever you want to and give them a call to action to get into your restaurant, right? So you create a platform where you own the traffic, because if Facebook goes down tomorrow, if your Instagram password gets lost in the ocean and you can never you can never figure it out, and you can't post or get attention through there, you have your own platform that is controlled by you, that you can reach out to your customers whenever you want, right? And you can give them a call to action whenever you want. I don't like this is so powerful, because once you have your own platform, then what we do is we go ahead and create the sequences, blasts, and nurturing and the nurturing campaigns to then go ahead and convert those customers, right? So we would utilize retargeting ads, push notifications through these loyalty programs, email, SMS automations, giveaways, things of that sort. These are just examples, but the main thing is you utilize that to then go ahead and start monetizing this attention, right? And you can see how this comes full circle, because you've gone from generating the attention over here to owning the attention through these pillars, to then, to owning the attention, to then educating the attention through these pillars, and then going ahead and converting it. Most people get stuck on this and expect this to happen. That is literally insanity. Do you know how many restaurants there are in this world for you to be ignorant enough to think that you are going to post something on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and this is going to happen? And you're going to start monetizing out of nowhere. It is insanity. Okay. So you need to realize that that is not what's going to happen. And you need to figure out how to implement a system like this, or get us to implement a system like this for your restaurant. Right. So then what you do is you nurture them to then start monetizing them. And with this whole thing, from just generating attention for free, you can then go ahead and convert these customers, or these potential leads, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, to in-house reservations, delivery orders, online click and collect orders, high ticket venue, high ticket offers, or destination events, etc., like catering and things of that sort, where you can charge anywhere between £2,000 to £10,000 per order, right? And the main thing with this is that you're actually able to have a consistent thing that is consistently implemented for you to acquire the attention, own the attention, educate the attention, and convert it. An actual systemized process for it to make it for it to be unreasonable for you not to generate more cash and more revenue for your restaurant when implementing a system like this. Okay. And so, like I said, so once you actually utilize this, once you have your own platform, you can convert them any single time. And when you start utilizing these and you start making offers and start monetizing towards these, you can have call to actions to bring them into your restaurant. Okay. And when you implement a system like this, you then have information advantage over things that your competition doesn't know, because you own your own data, you have your own platform, you have your own subscribers, you have access to viral influencers because they understand that you are an attention generating machine, right? And then you also get to understand your own pillars of growth in your restaurant. You get to understand what is actually going to help grow your restaurant when you systemize processes like this. Because if you don't systemize a process like this, how do you know what bottlenecks you have in your restaurant? Because once your content is dialed in, completely dialed in, and once you actually have a system in place that converts it for you, through this growth thesis that we have created over here, then you can be like, okay, now this is sorted. I know for a fact that there's other problems in my business that I can systematically build on in a situation like this to actually go ahead and reach closer to my goal or way beyond that. And I mean, at the end of the day, just to let you know what I've shown you here. I've put this out there completely for free for you to get, for you to see how this has helped yourself, and I mean how this can help yourself, and how it's helped us and many other restaurants that we work with as well. But sometimes this might not be your main problem, right? You may have other problems, and most likely we solve for that, right? And so what I would say is, if this was interesting to you, if you really thought or you enjoyed the process and how we do it and how we help the restaurants we work with, then what I would actually go ahead and suggest you to do is subscribe, turn on the bell notification, get more free content from us. And if you really want to, if you want to fast track the process, because one thing that I do know is every restaurant is at different stages. Okay. If you are a restaurant who is, under £40,000 a month, you're most likely in a position where you're going to want to go ahead and do things yourself, right? Or under £30,000 a month. And so you might be in a position where, okay, watching this content and going ahead and trying to implement a system like this, whether it takes you, a couple of months to a couple of years to do it, then that's fine. But you're in a position where you have to do that. But I know there's some restaurants that look at this and are like, damn, this is what my restaurant needs and more. And they want to find out a little bit more about what we do. And so what I would say is if you want to find out a little bit more about what we do and you don't want to go ahead and, figure out how to spend 2 to 3 years trying to implement this for your restaurant, then I would say, in the description of this YouTube video, there'll be a link where you can go ahead and book a growth consultation with my team. And on there, you'll get walked through exactly what we do, how we can help you, and we'll basically show you the customized pillars that can help you generate more revenue and help you reach closer to your goals with your restaurant. Right? No fluff, no BS. I mean, if you don't want to go ahead and book a call, that's completely up to you. I'd appreciate you to just watch the content, get value from it. I don't really care if you go ahead and do click the link. The main thing is I just want you to understand that this is how you need to analyze growing your restaurant. Okay. That being said, I hope this was valuable. And if you had any questions, please pop it in the comments below. If you want to see specific types of content, put it in the comments below, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. And maybe I'll even make a video on it. But that being said, have an awesome day, and I appreciate your attention. Cheers. Bye bye.